Hey guys, I'm Jim. I edit photos and I'm a little caffeinated. I'm a little excited. I feel a little bit like Danny Rojas, if you get the Ted Lasso reference there. Anyway, what I want to talk about in this video is Luminar Neo. Today, they have announced details on 4 of the tools that are coming in Luminar Neo. I want to dive into that, share with you what they have shared with me. We had a briefing last week with all the affiliates and ambassadors and things like that. So got some more details, wanted to share that with you. Let's get going. The first thing I want to talk about is to answer the question I seem to still be getting a lot, which is totally fine. It is a little confusing at times, but what is Luminar Neo? Basically, they took the best things out of Luminar 4, which was like layers, the ability to use tools multiple times, things like that. And they took the best things out of Luminar AI, which, as the name implies, a lot of the AI-powered tools that are in there that just do these amazing things, take advantage of 3D depth mapping and all that. They took all the features that we love out of both products and built a new engine, stuck them together in this new product called Luminar Neo. So I think of it, as it says here below, as Luminar 5 AI Pro, something like that. It is, I think, a pro class tool, or I should say, it's going to be a pro class tool. I don't have it yet, as you know, but once I do have it and can do videos, trust me, I'll be doing a lot of them. Anyway, that's kind of the way I think about it. It is called Luminar Neo. It's not called Luminar 5 or Luminar 5 AI Pro or Luminar Pro, but I think of it in that way. So just to help kind of clarify that, the early bird pre-order period is over, but they have a new offer that's slightly more expensive, and that starts today and it goes through October 18th. You can see the prices there. I think it's about $10 more per seat or per computer license. And I'll put a link down below, which is an affiliate link. So if you purchase off of that link, it provides some support for me. They do send me or pay me a referral commission for that, in which case I really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you any more, and it's a great way to provide support for folks like myself who are sitting here making videos about it. And trust me, I'll be making a lot of videos about it. So again, link down below if you want to check it out. Some of you have pre-ordered already, in which case I'd like to say thank you. I sincerely appreciate the support. Let's get going into the stuff that they're talking about. The first tool that they announced today is Relight AI. And as you can see, it says here, it's a lighting tool that's using the 3D depth mapping. Now, you may be familiar with 3D depth mapping. It's in existing products in Luminar AI, like Atmosphere AI and Portrait Bokeh AI. It's basically identifying the planes in the photo so it can see, tell the difference between the foreground and the middle ground and the background, but it also identifies some elements in the photo, like people and buildings and skies and things like that. So what you may be aware, like Portrait Bokeh AI recognizes the person, shows us the mask. You may know that from using it in Luminar AI, but it's isolating that element right away. So what they're doing is taking advantage of that 3D depth mapping and that recognition and applying it to a new tool, which is Relight AI. So it's going to be a tool that's going to give us, as it says here, creative control over the light in an image, right? So we're going to be able to reposition it, adjust the depth, blend the light between like the foreground and the middle ground and the background and things like that. So great for landscapes, great for portraits. Like portraits, you might have a shot and it could be that the person is a little bit dark, so you're gonna be able to isolate and separately adjust the light in the foreground and background. So maybe dark in the background because maybe it's too bright, and bright in the foreground so you can see your portrait subject better, things like that. So as it says here, independently adjust the lighting in the foreground and the background. So it's going to be great to go with things like Accent AI, Sky Enhancer AI, Portrait Bokeh AI. And I do want to clarify, this is different than what Accent AI does. Accent AI is basically brightening across the entire photo. Now, it has intelligence in it, but it's adjusting contrast and color and things like that, but it's doing it across the entire photo, where this tool, Relight AI, is going to allow you to separately adjust the light in the foreground or the background and then blend it together and reposition. So different approach, and I think will actually complement what you can do with Accent AI. So you might do Accent AI first to get kind of your base image with a little bit of color and contrast pop, and then come in, use Relight AI, for example. Looks like a really powerful tool. Here's a couple of example photos. Here's a landscape by Daniel Corden, who's awesome, by the way. He was in the Luminar photo camp in Iceland with this. Great guy, obviously an amazing photographer. Anyway, here's a shot of his. Upper left, of course, is the previous or the unedited, and the big one here is the edited one. Now you're also going to see some color adjustments and things like that. But if you look at just the lighting, this is typical of a landscape, right? Where the brighter part, the sky, right, being a source of light, of course, in a landscape, is going to be brighter, and the stuff in the foreground, which are these rocks here in the sea, are just going to be kind of dark. And you can see that they've used Relight AI here to adjust that, bring up that light in those rocks in the foreground so you can really see the detail and the color and the different really interesting elements. Like if you look at this here, this left rock, completely dark, and now you can see these green plants and the texture in the rock. Anyway, it looks really cool. I think it's going to be fantastic. And here's another example. This is obviously balancing out the light on this subject here, which I just think is really cool. So it's going to give us really powerful control over how the lighting is going to work in our photos and allow us to massage that, for lack of a better word, to get the results that we want. Here's another example, and I want to be clear, this is not a screenshot of the UI, the tool. This is not them saying, here's exactly what the tool is going to look like. So I just want to be clear, this is not necessarily an exact screenshot. It's probably representative of kind of how things are going to go, but we don't know for sure yet. But you can see there's an amount slider, a dehalo slider, and a depth slider. The depth one, I think, is obvious. It's going to allow you to kind of move and reposition that light between the foreground and the background, and the dehaloing and the amount are going to adjust that as well. Again, don't exactly know if those are the exact sliders, but it gives you some idea of what they're talking about. And you can see here, I think this is fairly typical of a portrait that you might take, and you're going to need to adjust the light on. So this tool is going to give us all that power and more. Okay, layers. Layers they're talking about. I know you're excited about layers coming back. I'm excited about it. Multiple image combinations, including raw files, blend modes, masking, opacity, all the kind of stuff that you would expect. So that's giving you the opportunity, the creative outlet, if you will, to do collages, double exposures, exposure blends, things like that. Anything where you need to stack more photos on top of other photos is going to be able to be done here with the layers. They're going to include some built-in overlays and an object content library. So that's going to give you creative options kind of out of the box. And so I think that's pretty cool. It'll work with textures, PNGs with transparency, which I think is really cool as well. And then once you have your layers in place, rotate, move, flip them, transform them, drag the order, that sort of thing. The only one that you can't move in order is your base image. It's always going to be the base image, but any layer above that, you'll be able to reorder them. And then you can use different masking capability, brush and radial and gradient. I don't know about luminosity mask. I think that they'll do it, but hey, that's just a guess at this point. They did not say that. But I know for sure they'll have brush masking, radial masking, and gradient masking to be able to help apply these layers. But they're also going to have some other masking that I'll talk about in a minute. So luminosity mask, I have a question mark on. I'm hopeful that they bring it back. I know I would love to have it. I suspect some of you would as well. The point is, layers is coming. It's going to be very flexible, very powerful. And frankly, I think it's going to be in that Luminar way compared to something like Photoshop, for example. It's going to be easier and more sort of intuitive. Here's an example. The left-hand side is clearly an unedited photo. The right-hand side has all kinds of stuff. Now, if you look at this left side here, you can see it says layers. And again, this is not a screenshot. This is representative of the kind of things that we're going to have, but it's not a screenshot. So you cannot assume that it's going to look exactly like this because we don't know yet. Just wanted to clarify. But you can see that there's different textures here. This flowery thing, which has apparently been put on her torso. This looks like shapes and flowers, which is over here. You got this line and this background, which is behind her. And the plus is going to be, I'm sure, to add another layer. But you can see what they did. I mean, they did kind of a creative thing here where they've got lots of different stuff stuck together. And I'm sure they're using some of their intelligent masking, which we'll talk about in a minute, to blend it together without a whole lot of manual processes, which is what I love about the AI tools in Luminar. So it's pretty cool stuff. Here's another one. You've seen this photo in my previous videos, but basically, they've got rid of all the stuff in the background. They put these other things in place. You can see the different elements like a moon, a sunset, some clouds and all that. And as I pointed out in a previous video, you can see how the clouds, like over here, this cloud is sticking out of this right-hand side here, but it's behind that center piece of wood there in the window pane. So it's just kind of cool how this is blending. I think that's pretty awesome stuff. Here's another example that they have. Again, you've got your base photo of this night sky, but then they're adding in the whale coming through the door, and they're adding some aurora into the sky, things like that. So cool, fun, creative outlets. That's going to be the power of layers. And as we get more information, I'll share it here, but I'm really excited about that, and that's going to be awesome. And so Relight AI and layers will be included at launch when the product comes out this winter. Now, I hinted at masking tools, and they've also announced Mask AI. Just to be clear, this will not be available at launch. It will be out in a free update for customers that comes in the early part of next year. Don't have a date exactly, but this is not available at launch. So Relight AI and layers available at launch. Mask AI coming in the first free update. But as it says here, AI-powered context-aware masking. If you look at some of the tools that are in Luminar AI today, Skin AI, I can't even say it, Sky Enhancer, Sky AI, which is the Sky replacement, those things are context aware, right? And they're creating masks, but in the past we haven't had access to them. But now Mask AI is going to identify hundreds of things, not just some of those basic things. So portraits, skies, water, mountains, vegetation, architecture, all that kind of stuff, with more coming later as they explore further uses of this tool. And you know, if you think about the recommendation engine that's in templates in Luminar AI, the intelligence is already there. That recommendation engine, you put up a photo of a seascape and it's going to recommend templates that have water, you know, that are good for water-based because it's recognizing the water. But now they're taking this a step further where the mask is going to actually be shown, displayed to us, and allow us to use it. So that's going to be really cool. So getting rid of complicated masking processes and just automatically identifying these elements of a scene, allowing us to target specifically where our edits are going to go. I love this stuff because if you've seen any of my videos in the past, you know that I'm forever like masking in tools to certain areas because, hey, I only want to do this in the water, or I only want to do that in the building or in the mountain or whatever it is. You're probably doing the same things. This is going to give us automatic AI-based masks specific to certain elements in a photo. I think that's really cool. You're going to be able to combine these multiple AI-powered masks. It's just going to make editing faster. So you're going to be able to refine them, invert them, reuse them, things like that. An example, something that I have not been able to do in Luminar AI, which is use HSL multiple times. There might be a photo where I'm like, I really want to bring up the red there. And so I'll go into HSL, I mask it in. But then if I want to bring up the blue over here or the green over here or the yellow over there, I can't because I only have access to HSL one time. Now you're going to have the ability to reuse the tools multiple times and go in and automatically have them masked for you and then just adjust things accordingly. This is going to be super cool, I think. And again, keep in mind, it's not available at launch, but coming in the first free update. But here's a few I'm going to use the word screenshot, but I'm using it in air quotes. Again, this is not exactly from the app. So this is representative of what it will do for us. But in this case, you can see it's recognizing the road. So it's going to say, here's the road. What do you want to do? And I'm going to say, well, I want to brighten the road because it was really dark and I'm going to brighten it. And I want to add structure or detail. And then you can apply those things. And you can see here some of the things that they're looking at giving us visibility to with these masks: sky, vegetation, roads, mountains, vehicles, things like that. Again, all of this is not available at launch, and I don't know what items specifically are going to be masked at launch. Excuse me, not at launch. This tool is coming in the first free update, but when that first update comes and includes this tool, I'm not exactly sure which specific masks are going to be there, but they're working on a bunch of them, and then they're going to be looking at additional ones in the future. So another example, hey, and I do this all the time, you've seen my videos, then you know what I'm talking about. I'll go in and I'll say, I just want to play with the sky, and so I'll go do a bunch of things to the sky, and I'll paint in a mask on one tool, and then I'll reuse it on another one. So I might do some color harmony work, but also some negative structure in the sky or something just to make adjustments. Now, as you can see here, it's automatically recognizing the sky. And by the way, I love this picture because if you look at these trees, it's coming in behind all those trees where the sky is showing through. Again, don't have the tool, but when we get it, it's going to be pretty awesome, I think. I'm excited to try it out. And once I do have it, for sure, I'll be letting you know how it works. In this case, it isolated the mountains and said, hey, look at these mountains. Maybe that's an element you want to isolate and do something with. And then if I need to, I can go and refine it. Notice here, sky, vegetation, mountains, man-made structures. So maybe, again, I'm guessing here, maybe it's going to recognize these houses and allow you to do specific things to those. Maybe you want to brighten some of them or add structure. Again, I'm just kind of spitballing here, for lack of a better word, but very cool technology, very just amazing use of AI that's coming in Luminar Neo. I'm excited to try this because the creative possibilities are frankly endless, but also the time saving is just going to be immense. Not to mention, let's be honest, the accuracy of these. I mean, if it's as accurate as I think it's going to be pretty amazing because my accuracy is never perfect. And I say this all the time in my videos. I'm like, you don't have to be perfect, and you don't. But if it does it for you automatically and it's perfect, sweet. That's a beautiful thing. And the last feature number 4 that they provided more detail in the announcement today is Portrait Background Removal AI. Also not going to be available at launch. It will come in a free update in the early part of next year. So again, Relight and Layers coming out with the product at launch this winter. But Mask AI and Portrait Background Removal AI coming in the first free update in the next in the new year. So it's based on human awareness, right? Which already exists in Luminar AI, but this is taking it a step further where you can isolate the subject and remove it with one click. Isolate the subject and therefore remove the background with one click. You can refine the edges if you need to, but again, just like Mask AI, it's removing the need for complicated masking processes, and it's just going to be amazing. I think I'm very excited about this. I think that's going to be cool. You add this in with layers, and as you can see here, lots of flexibility, lots of control, but not all the manual work. So it's about speed and accuracy and using AI to help us get better results more rapidly, which I love. Initially, it is focused on portraiture, but they said that they are exploring other uses of this tool. So I think that's pretty cool. And you've already seen some screenshots on this. You can see the original on the left and the different replaced backgrounds. Here's another one. I love this one because if you look at the original background and then the replaced background in the center and on the right, you'll notice that the skin is reflecting the tones in the new background. So in the middle one, where there's a lot more kind of pink and magenta kind of tones, that's kind of reflecting on her skin compared to the one taken in bright daylight on the left. And then on the right-hand side, where she's in this forest or whatever, it's got a lot more green tones, again, kind of reflecting that on her skin, also on her clothing. So I think that's pretty cool. And that's it, my friends. This is a summary of the 4 new features that are coming in Luminar Neo. Thanks for watching, my friends. I hope this is helpful. Hope it gives you an idea of the kind of exciting tools that are coming. I know I'm excited. I'll be back soon with more information. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next video, and adios.